life and miracles of Saint Benedict. Saint Benedict was born in Norcia, Italy in the year 480. The village of Norcia was located about 80 miles southeast of Rome. Benedict was raised as a student in Rome, Italy, in which he did not enjoy.
After his schooling, St. Benedict spent 3 years of solitude in a cave that came to be known as Sacro Specco. All of this was in preparation to start building several monasteries, each having 12 monks of its own. Benedict's most famous monastery would come to be known as Monte Cassino. Within Monte Cassino was where the rule of Benedict originated.
The rule of Saint Benedict is known as the Benedictine values today. These Benedictine values are what we see today on our campuses at College of St. Benedict's and St. John's University.
I think the people of St. Ben's and St. John's really represent the Benedictine value of community living in a lot of aspects of our life, especially even in like the dining halls and in the dorm halls. Everyone's very friendly and easy to live together. And also the value of awareness of God. I see that in things like praise in the pub and different Bible studies and going to Mass. There's a lot of student involvement in those things.
The way that I see St. John's and the Benedictine values reflected in our students, especially with taking counsel, is every Monday I meet with the St. John's Senate and we discuss how our students' opinions should be applied to certain issues on our campus every week.
It's kind of on the day-to-day. I mean, you see it in the classrooms when you're walking to class. Students will hold doors for each other. It's really a part of community here, and it exists in the residential life. For my job as an RA, we see students are friends and they respect each other on a day-to-day. So it's really everywhere in our community. We see it a lot.
The big Benedictine value that I see on campus every day is listening. It's really important in all of our classes. People are constantly listening to their classmates in order to learn and in order to gain experience here at college, which is what liberal arts is really all about. And then our big place I have to use listening in my life is in the dorm and community living. Every day I have guys coming in my room telling me about their problems, telling me about what's going good, what's not going so good, and I have to really critically listen with my brain and my heart just to see what advice I can give to them to really help them out be better students and better guys and develop into the guys that a Johnny really is.
Well, you take it for granted most of the time. It's part of the atmosphere. It's the way the way we live. I think it goes back to the start of the place, I suppose. I think the mixture of sort of teachers and students. And initially, all the teachers were monks, of course. Gradually, the teachers became monks and lay people, and then gradually became monks and lay men and lay women. All those things gradually happened over the history of St. John's. This goes way back to the Benedictine rule, where somehow back in the 6th century they already had the notion of people coming very early to the monastic community. Just sounds almost as though they were kids, but they were there and probably getting taught things. And I think that's where, in some respects, where our sense of community comes from. The sense that some are older and some are younger, but the rule very specifically says that the younger should pay respect to the elders, and the elders should listen to the wisdom of the youngers, which is, I think, gradually, if you live in a monastic community, the awareness of God just becomes constant, and it's not an old guy up there somewhere with a beard. It's the environment, again, the environment of human life, the spiritual dimension of our existence that is constant.